Hey everybody, thanks for joining. We'll start in a few minutes.
Hello, y'all hear me?
Yep, we can.
Sweet.
We'll start in a few minutes, just waiting for my co-host to join, and then we'll kick the event off in 2 minutes and wait for people to filter in, and then you guys can do your thing.
Cool.
Hey, Captain. It's like Matteo Kari has an emergency and asked if they could go first. So we'll just go second.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you guys. Sorry for the problem.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. I thought that was you talking, Matt. My bad. But yes, we'll kick it off with crypto, and then we'll go to Firn, and then exactly, and then finish up with Peanut. Very cool names. I like them. They're unique.
You gotta be unique.
Gotta stand out some way. Lots of apps out there, right?
Win
Yeah.
the
It
war,
helps come to demo day.
the war
Yeah.
of the mind, right?
Then I will tell you the joke why we are called exactly.
Huh?
What's that?
I have a story. Good morning, everyone. Why we are called exactly, but
Ah,
it's
okay, I like it.
What's up, Hugo?
All right. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining. We'll kick it off in a few minutes. How's everybody doing?
I'm gonna test the emoji. Oh, Discord's
there we
added some
go.
better emoji there.
We have
What an
my
improvement.
favorite new co-host in the entire world, Maddie.
That's me. Hi.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, it
Yes.
has the upside down face emoji. Canonically best emoji.
That is
That's
the best.
subtle. It's a subtle one. What it means exactly, you know?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
the
so
ambiguity. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, so everybody, this is Maddie. Maddie will be co-hosting demo days with me going forward. I'm really excited for you guys to meet Maddie and hear from her. Every time I talk to her, she always has some very, very interesting takes, very unique, and brings a different perspective to things, things that I would have never thought of in a million years. So, very excited to have her here at demo day and be hosting these with her in the future.
I think you could have thought of it in a million years. Our goal is just to make it faster. We're gonna have million-year thoughts once every week, and it's gonna be awesome.
Are you hooking yourself up to ChatGPT?
I am actually. I might have just today used ChatGPT to generate a list of what are the 5 most common support requests made in the dev help channel, and it gave me a pretty good list. So we're gonna work on some documentation for those right after I just keep playing with emoji buttons.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Next step is get it drilled into your head. Maybe a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah.
Elon's working on it. We'll see. If you go first, let me know how it works out. And if everything's all good, I'm going next.
You end up just having a Doge meme implanted instead of something useful.
That would be a cruel, cruel joke. All right, we have a few people here, so I think we can kick it off now. So everybody, welcome to Demo Day, April 5th. I appreciate everybody coming, and I appreciate all of the presenters willing to come in and present their projects today. We're going to kick it off with CryptoRefills, followed by Firn Protocol, then Exactly Protocol, and finally Peanut Protocol will finish it up.
Yeah. And I have a couple things I'd love to say also, since this is my first one. And so, first of all, thank you, Jesse, for helping get this back up and running again. This is when I was applying to Optimism late last year. This was one of the things I saw was happening and wanted to get involved, was excited for it, but also wasn't sure like how we like put our stamp on it with where Optimism is today. And just Jesse has been amazing in getting it up and running, getting people in. And what I'm excited to work on with y'all, and I'll introduce myself in a sec, it's to make this a very useful resource for the builder community on Optimism for the purpose of getting you to the next stage. So how I see Demo Day is that this is your chance to introduce yourself to the community, to get really actionable feedback from hands-on users, playtesters, ultimately make the product better. It's a place to hone your pitch. And in order to hone that pitch, get retro PGF attention, apply for grants. Even if you're applying for grants or even looking for venture capital funding or talking to other chains, ultimately I want us to be able to help you have the best product and pitch in traction in the entire industry. So this is a step. It's a space that is safe to have good ideas, bad ideas. Like the whole point is to have ideas and to start building them. And so the quick about why I'm particularly excited about this, the about me, is my background is in video games, tech startups, and entrepreneurship. So I worked in the game industry for 13 years prior to joining Optimism. Prior to that, I was a copywriter and an esports tournament host. I hosted some of the very first Super Smash Bros. Melee tournaments way back before Twitter, before Twitch. It was a long time ago, but it was fun. And after working in community management for a while, decided what I want to do is run my own company. I want to be CEO. So I did the questionable career decision that was also the best career decision I ever made, which was to quit my job, start my own company with my best friend, and it freaking worked. We raised $10 million without ever having shipped a product before. I was burnished in the fires of VC pitching, so I have active opinions on how to put together a deck or a pitch or to get people's attention or to try to make something interesting and valuable, and then how to try to bring that product to life, how to ship it, how to get a community, how to get feedback. So with all of that, I'm excited to bring all of that to Demo Day. Please tell your friends, get people in here to start demoing. And with that, let's chat with our first people.
How do you see why I was so excited for you guys to meet Maddie? She brings so much experience. It's insane. All right. Speaking of great products, Matt, do you want to kick it off from CryptoRefills?
Yep. Good morning or good night, everyone. For me, it's a good night because it's late here in Italy. I am Matteo and I'm from Italy, so nice to meet you all. I'm the business developer here at CryptoRefills, and now I'll share my screen so I can show you what we do. Can you see it and can you listen me well, right? So what is CryptoRefills? This is a digital shop for gift cards. We allow people to buy any gift card in the world for with crypto. Okay, we are active in the space since 2080. As I said, I'm only the business developer here, not the co-founder. And Yeah, if we compare us with other competitors, we have a vast selection of networks. Of course, Optimism is one of is one of the network we supported together with Ethereum, Arbitrum, Polygon, etc. I can call it our project as chain agnostic, so we support different chains, different coins, etc. We started supporting Optimism like 1 month ago because I personally really like the ecosystem, so I pushed the tech team to start supporting this space. Here you can have in the blog section a recap of why we decided to support Optimism, the coins that we support here, so HIT, USDC, USDT, and DAI and Frax. Of course, there is no op or other or not stable or other sorry guys or other non-stable coins because of the volatility of price, of course. While for it, of course, we have to support it for sure. So now I connect my wallet because I want to show you when you buy something what happens. So for example, for the Netflix gift card, here you can select the amount that is the face value, okay, of the gift card. You can also put the price in any other coin, and let's put add to cart amount 1. Okay, here you can select the network and the coin you want to pay. Okay, always be careful the chain you choose, the coin, etc. Let's put it. And here I can select mainnet, Arbitrum, or Optimism. Proceed to checkout. Here, just a sec, I have to copy the email. You don't have to register or to create an account. You can also, I can tell you, create a Proton Mail email and just use the email for receiving the gift card at the end of the process. Here, this is the last page. You have the recap of everything. As I said, be careful, the network is right, you have selected the right coin, etc. And now, if I click connect the wallet, I have paid the gift card, and I will receive the gift card here on the Proton Mail email. So the cool part is that of course you can directly spend your crypto. I can say that you don't need KYC or anything similar because you just have to connect your wallet. And yeah, I think for CryptoRefills, I think that's it. I can just add that we are implementing some new Web3 services. For example, a token gating system, but for fungible and not fungible tokens. What does it mean? If you have a particular NFT or an amount of ERC20, you can be granted with a discount on the purchase of gift card. For example, if I go here, it will show me if I have that specific NFT, for example, a Bored Ape. Here I can see, I don't know, a discount of 10%. Okay, this is not something implemented because we need to have a partnership with the other NFT collection, DAO, etc. But we can implement this kind of service, and this is just a first step into a more I can call it Web3 space, okay, because we are moving from just being a crypto off ramping service to offer so many different services in the Web3 ecosystem. But I don't want to show you other things, maybe in another demo. If you have questions or anything else, I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, that was great. And everybody, as a reminder, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, or come off of mute and you can ask your question as well. But yeah, I'm very glad that you guys reached out to me. I don't know, what was it, a month or so ago? Because I then used CryptoRefills and it was just such a smooth
nice.
user.
I was saying, oh, nice. I'm glad you used them.
Yes, it was just such a smooth user experience. And also, I wanted to clarify the last thing that you showed there, right, was effectively your kind of what a user would call like gift card functionality, right, in the form of an
Yep.
NFT. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah, no, go ahead, please.
No, I was just telling that, as I said, we are moving to a more Web3 project. The name is Atomic Rails. Can I share here the links, both for CryptoRefills and Atomic Rails, or is it a problem? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and share the links in the chat.
Okay, yeah, just
Do you mind? Can you go ahead and keep sharing your screen that
yeah, for
shows the
sure.
website,
For
just
sure.
because it helps everybody see who's talking? And also, it's a beautiful website, so it's a good example for folks to see.
This is Atomic Rails. There's also the Optimism logo because we are deploying both on Optimism and Polygon. So what is this? We are working on a platform for gift card tokenization. Okay, what does it mean? We want to offer Amazon, Adidas, PlayStation, etc. A way to tokenize their gift card. Okay, so you can have an NFT gift card collection that is both a classic 7-to-1 standard, so an NFT, and a gift card, something like a prepaid card on our ecosystem. How it can be useful, for example, for employee program, ambassadors program, because you can have a branded NFT collection that can be a collectible items in game, the classic use case for gift cards, but also a prepaid card for now just on our website. Okay, when you connect on our website, then you can spend that prepaid card to purchase anything you want. But we are working also close to other payment processors. Okay, this means that I don't know, one day you could go to the physical shop and spend the balance of this NFT. Is something particular that we are testing because we have modified the 7-to-1 standard. Okay, so we need to do an audit on it. We are just doing something like an internal MVP, but for example, in 1 month, I think you will see the CryptoRefills NFT gift card that will be this NFT collection that can be used on our website to purchase other gift cards. Okay, so this is Atomic Rails. As I said, this website is still a work in progress, but you can start looking at something. Yeah, it is not really, we have not really published it yet on social, etc. It's just, we have just made a soft launch, we can call it in this way. But yeah, you can start watching something on it. And of course, you can contact me for anything.
Well, this is fun, coming out with a banger. Like, thank you for setting a good bar here. I have a couple of questions. So one is, how's your traction so far? Like, is one of the chains that you're on, are you getting more traffic there than the others? What are you most looking for right now for hitting your next milestone?
Yeah, okay. I think for CryptoRefills and Atomic Rails, we can do, how can I say, a different, uh, yeah, it's a different marketing strategy for us, okay? Because
Mhm.
CryptoRefills is more B2C because you have directly to sell gift cards to Web3 users. And I think all the Web3 space is going well. So both Optimism, Arbitrum. Of course, we still need maybe to build a strong reputation in the Optimism ecosystem because, for example, with Polygon, we have done some partnerships, some other events. So maybe people, it's how can I say, it's more
Yeah.
confident in using our services, and it's also 1 year and a half that we are on Polygon. So sorry if I mention another chain, but just to compare the
And
two
and that's
the two
again why
sides.
I'm trying, like, of course, I am excited about building Optimism, but what we want is for it to just be the obvious best place,
Mhm,
right? And so if you're
mhm,
getting value from another spot and that's what you're looking for, like, ultimately it's not just how can the Optimism community match it, but how can we 10x that? How can we do even more? Because there's
mhm,
some amount of, say, partnerships, grants, like some of them work, some of them don't, and our job is to really improve that. And so
mhm,
were there any partnerships so I guess my broad question is how can the
mhm.
Optimism community most help you right now? And that could be like recreating a
I think
partnership or like,
more on the yeah. Good question. I think more on the B2B side. Okay, that
Mhm.
means partnering with other projects with the same Optimist team. Because just an example, we can do that if someone holds 10 OP in his wallet, the user can have a discount. Of course, I would be very happy to do it. I don't know
Mhm.
if we can do that, but partnership on that side, because as I said, we are moving to more a B2B project. Okay, so I
Yeah.
would like to build partnership for Atomic Rails, people that projects that implement their own ambassadors program. Okay, because here this is just a platform. Okay, it's a
Mhm.
platform, and on top of it, projects can build their own NFT gift card collection. Okay, so as I said, CryptoRefills is more B2C, so it's just reaching more users possible. Here, more on partners, and
Yeah.
now we are more interested in that side.
And so that's a super good
Sorry for
point.
the long
And
answer.
no, this is great. And thank you for helping us search for some ways to put the demo day and take it in these directions. So, Jesse, let me know when we need to move on, but I have a couple more thoughts here and also want to give the community a chance for questions. Um, so for everybody in the audience, the really, really important thing with the community in general and with Demo Day in particular is that we're all in this together, and how can we help one another reach out to achieve these goals. So it's not necessarily just like team and platform, but rather if you think this is a super cool idea, reach out to Matteo, reach out, like post a message and text Matteo. I don't know what your DM preference is, but
Yeah.
working through all of that. So like if you think that this product is useful and the thing that is most helpful for Matteo, or if you have feedback for it, is to have these connections and start building. Y'all making those connections, helping one another be successful, and raising that bar is what is going to make it easier and easier to launch these projects and find traction down the line. So if we were in person, I would say look to the person next to you and introduce yourself. Maybe introduce yourself to the person above or below, or say hello. But broadly, definitely reach out and use this as a networking opportunity. So with that, does the audience or anybody else have any questions for this team?
I have a quick question. Does CryptoRefills offer like Visa or MasterCard gift cards?
Not really. We tried to offer the service for 2 weeks, but then we switch it off because I don't remember if it was for cost. I don't remember why. But yeah, at the moment we don't support them.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
I have one other idea, which is I got excited thinking about y'all using this as a gift card protocol that you could then be working with the gaming DAOs and gaming currencies in particular. So you can go into the store, you see the Fortnite cards everywhere, but we don't need to be locked into that. And so is there a service that you can be providing there for games in particular that people would be able to say trade in their currency for this game currency?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. There are any other question, comment?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. This was really interesting and very, very informative. If the rest of the audience, I know that you have to go. If the rest of the audience has any more questions about crypto refills, they can drop it in the chat and then I can pass it along to you after the demo day is over. But I did wanted to pass it along to Firn Protocol to give them a chance. And as a reminder to the audience, feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat. And with that, I will kick it over to Firn.
All right, well, I'll get started. So I am Captain McAteer. I'm the founder of Firn Protocol. I'll be saying a few things. I'll be presenting jointly with Gravning Amundsen, who's our head of BD. Let's get started. So Firn is an advanced zero-knowledge privacy platform for Ethereum and for EVM-based L2s, including Optimism. And so we actually launched first on Optimism, and Optimism is their most active pool. I'll say just a few things about what Firn is and does. So Firn is, on the one hand, something like maybe Tornado Cash or Aztec Connect, where you can sort of deposit ETH into Firn, and then later withdraw it to a new address, and you would get privacy for that withdrawal in the sense that you are not linking the withdrawal to your original deposit. But Firn is interesting because you can also do more general things. You can actually call contracts. Let's say a payable function on some contract. You can call it using Firn, so sort of from Firn in a sense. And in this sense, you can think of Firn as a private wallet, right, that can do many things that a normal wallet can do, except you have essentially anonymity. And again, the way we achieve this is through zero knowledge proofs. So it's technically very advanced and is also very carefully engineered, and it's already live and deployed. And Optimism, the pool is already somewhat large, so you'll get actually adequate privacy already today if you use Firn on Optimism. So let's see. With that said, I think we do have a pre-recorded live demo, which Gravning will present. So I think I can turn it over to that. I don't know if we want to break now and if there are any immediate questions, or if we should just proceed.
I recommend let's do the demo.
All right, let's go.
So I'll turn it over to Gravning, who, by the way, you can introduce yourself if you want and get started on the demo.
Sure, yeah. I'm Gravning Amundsen, head of BD, and I think the video will explain it all. So I'll just go live and we can watch.
Yeah, and apologies in advance if there's any repeated material in the video. So
okay, are we all good in seeing it?
Yep, all good.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the Optimism Demo Day presentation of Firn Protocol. My name is Gravning Amundsen, head of BD for Firn Protocol. I will be guiding you through the features, function, and some
volume is a bit low if you have the ability to turn that up.
I'm not sure why that's coming across that way. It's playing on YouTube, so I've already turned my volume up.
Oh, it's already up.
Yeah, so I guess if people could just turn up their speaker volumes, I'll try not to speak and blast anybody's ears out.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. has been submitted for consideration in the Optimism Governance Fund's Cycle 11 grant proposal in the growth category. We would like to thank the members of the Grants Council, the Optimism team, and of course the Optimism community for engaging with us today. Let's begin. Welcome to Firn Protocol. Firn is a state-of-the-art, zero-knowledge privacy protocol for Ethereum, which overcomes certain critical efficiency bottlenecks that alternative approaches face. Firn's browser-based front-end can retrieve and process its user's account state using only a constant amount of bandwidth and computation. This is a crucial difference from other privacy projects, which we'll get into later. Firn's client is stateless, never caches state on the device, and never communicates with off-chain services during sync. It can easily run on mobile and on the Tor network. Firn is currently the only privacy service deployed on Optimism, and although we are also available on mainnet Ethereum and Arbitrum, we are proud to say that our initial deploy was, and our largest user base remains, on Optimism. Creating and logging into your account on Firn is simple and extremely quick, especially when compared to rival services. A click of the button and one signature is all it takes. Your very first time logging in, you'll have to sign twice, so we'll do that now. Now that our account has been loaded, we will begin by depositing funds. Note that although we currently only allow deposits of Ether, we plan to allow deposits of ERC20 tokens in the near future. Firn aims to provide a fast, stable, and secure general private wallet for applications ranging throughout the entire Web3 space. Let's deposit some Ether to fund our new Firn account. We should mention that all of our transaction times during this demonstration are real-time. Note that the majority of the latency here is coming from the time it takes transactions to be confirmed, not from Firn itself. We now have funds in our private wallet, and our Firn public key has been generated. Your public key will be generated when your account is created, and your account may now start receiving funds from other Firn users. To receive funds from another Firn user, we may simply copy our public key and send it to that user. The funds will arrive in your account as soon as the other party has sent and the transaction has been confirmed. We have now waited some time, and here, we have received funds from another user, and we are showing several deposits below. At this time, it is safe to send funds from our freshly created account. Like all privacy protocols, it is necessary to wait some time and allow a sufficient amount of new deposits to take place before sending or withdrawing. The advanced nature of Firn's zero-knowledge proof means that we needn't rely on long roll-up wait times to achieve privacy. The funds in your account will always be in your custody and yours alone. While sending and receiving funds between Firn users provides the maximum privacy for both parties, because the amount is also hidden, for this demonstration we will not be sending to another user, because the process for sending and withdrawing are analogous. Let's make a withdrawal. For the more technically savvy users, we offer so-called God mode, which allows you to interact with contracts privately. When withdrawing funds, it is imperative to withdraw to an Ethereum address that has not appeared on-chain before. Whether you are withdrawing to an address you control or to someone else, this remains true. I have created a new wallet in MetaMask, and I will be withdrawing to myself in this instance. Note that a small fee of 0.39% is assessed on withdrawals. This fee is collected and dispersed to holders of the Firn token in a proportional manner. Thanks to the excellent engineering of the Optimism team, the gas cost of the computationally intensive process of verifying the zero-knowledge proof is nearly 100 times less than it is on mainnet Ethereum. In this instance, we can see that it will be 0.002 ETH, which at the time of this transaction is approximately $4. This is comparable to the price of a standard transfer on mainnet Ethereum. Our withdrawal was successful. Let's take a quick peek at Optimistic Etherscan to see what our transaction looks like on the blockchain. Here is some cryptographic data, which is all the public sees of your transaction. This field 7 is a zero-knowledge proof. This is what convinces the network that your withdrawal was sound and correct, but without revealing any information about your identity. As of now, Firn Protocol is the only privacy service available on Optimism, but we believe we offer the best privacy service on any blockchain. Compared to UTXO-based protocols like Aztec Connect, which was deprecated 2 weeks ago, and Railgun, Firn is faster, easier to use, and is much more efficient. We believe Firn Protocol will be a central player in the Optimism ecosystem very soon, and we are excited to bring privacy and freedom to millions worldwide. Thank you again to the Optimism community, and a special thank you to the Demo Day organizers. Visit us at app.firn.cash, follow us on Twitter at Firn Protocol, and chat with myself or our Steadfast founder, Captain McAteer, on Discord if you want to know more.
So really appreciate Gravning making this video. I think it's really helpful. Covered a lot. So I think now I think we can probably open it up. I will just emphasize a few things that were said. Right, so the first has to do with this idea of withdrawing to a fresh address, right? So there are really two ways that you could want to use Firn. There's one way where I want to pay somebody else, but anonymously, right? In that case, I can just withdraw to their address. Now, if I want to bring the ETH back into my own control, then in this case, it's important to withdraw to a completely fresh address. And this again is for privacy reasons, right? Because if I just withdraw back to the same address I've always used, then zero knowledge proof is not going to help. You're essentially giving up the game. You're essentially showing that it's you anyway, which is what you're trying to avoid, right? So just wanted to clarify that bit. But yeah. So why don't Gravning and I just yeah. And this is again true for all privacy protocols. So again, it's capable, obviously, of withdrawing to any address. The question is, for which addresses are you going to actually achieve the purpose you're going for? And the answer is that it should be a fresh one if it's yours. The other thing I can do is I can withdraw to, say, Vitalik's address from Firn, and that would have the effect of essentially paying him anonymously, right? So that's a kind of different case. Now again, as Gravning said in the video, if you want to pay somebody else, you can withdraw to them, but it's actually much better to do a Firn transfer to them, because in that case, actually the amount will also be private, right? That's key, is that when I withdraw back to mainnet or to that's going to show up as a regular, internal transfer or something, right? But if I do a Firn transfer, then everything is private, including the sender and the recipient and the amount. So that's really the best way to do this, is if both the sender and the receiver are set up with Firn accounts, that's the way you want to do this. So yeah, does that sound right, Gravning? Anything to add?
Yeah, that's right. One quick thing to add. We have a MetaMask snap, and we are happy, willing, and able to integrate privacy into any project that is interested. So if anybody who's presenting today or knows anybody who would be really interested in, making their dApp have a privacy function, just shoot me a message or send me a friend request, or send the captain a friend request. So yeah, but I think we can just turn it over to questions now.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I just have to add one last thing. Let's actually give an example of this, right? So I was meaning to actually mention that regarding Mateo's presentation just a second ago. There's an interesting thing you could do where if you're really, really privacy oriented, right, then what you could do is, let's say you want to buy some kind of gift card using ETH, right? But that might not even be private enough, because you're essentially revealing to CryptoRefills who you are. So you could actually buy the gift card from Firn. And essentially, you would then conceal your identity to CryptoRefills. So this is just an example. But again, our privacy is pluggable. This is crucial. We have a MetaMask snap that essentially lets you plug into any dApp. So great point. Let's keep that in mind. I do see a question here from Hugo. What about non-MetaMask wallets? Good differentiator. So, okay, I think there are a couple things going on. You can use Firn with any wallet. We support MetaMask, we support Coinbase Wallet, and Wallet Connect, right? Now, the next question has to do with the integrations. As of now, we only support not just MetaMask, but MetaMask Flask, the developer build, and that's just because essentially they're the only one who supports snaps. Now, why snaps? Well, this is actually a subtle point, which is kind of a technical point. But if I'm integrating Firn with some third-party service, like let's say Peanut, for example, Hugo, yeah. The way that will look is you go to peanut I guess .to, right? I don't understand. I don't understand the question. If they, as a wallet, integrate you, who's the meaning a different? Are you saying if some other? Okay, so it's true that if some wallet, let's say Banana Wallet, decided that we want to support Firn, then they could basically essentially rewrite our snap, but make it literally natively part of the wallet, right? That would be great. That would give you essentially a holy grail integration of Firn. Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. Huh, interesting. Actually, that's a great point. What if we just started approaching wallets and saying, look,
Yeah.
we have this tool. If you integrate us, then any app anywhere can get pluggable privacy with no extra integration on the user's part, right? Like right now, you have to download this Flask build, which is already a pain, right? So, yeah, that's a great point, Hugo. Appreciate that.
I think that's the right question, because I had written down in my questions to ask around who's your ideal user, and because there's certain comparables to, say, privacy pools or a certain protocol that shall not be named, and but also something that we're finding that for an end user benefit, unfortunately, privacy is not as top of mind for them. It's not as urgent a need. It's not as high on the Maslow's hierarchy. And so it's really hard to have as a differentiator until you're already in an apocalypse scenario, in which case people aren't buying stuff. But using the aha moment for me came when y'all were talking about creating this protocol as a means to allow other apps to add privacy as a feature for their users who might not realize it's needed yet. And that's really interesting. So like that gives you a biz dev strategy that can work more on the B2B side, which is always a more stable spot to be.
Ravning, I hope you're taking notes, right? But yeah, totally. So this is we since day one have really leaned into this pluggable idea, right? Like we don't want to just be the protocol that shall not be named. I think I know what you're talking about. Don't want to just be them. We want to be something where you can essentially do much more than just pay. And essentially, as you said, we want Firn to be almost something that is behind the app, right? They shouldn't have to go to Firn.cash. They should be able to go to Peanut, and then Firn will sort of be working behind the scenes via a wallet integration. So that's really the model we want. And yeah, really great thoughts, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say, in case anyone is interested, why do we need a special integration on the wallet's part? Why do we need a snap or something like that? And the reason is technical and has to do with privacy, right? So, what would the integration with Peanut look like? Well, essentially, Peanut would sort of broker a Firn login through their website, but there needs to be a domain separation. So when I log into Firn via Peanut, I don't want Peanut to have access to my Firn secret key, right? So what you want is to put a wall where, I have my Firn secret key in one place, and Peanut can sort of invoke Firn through this wall, but they shouldn't get my plain text key, or else they could spend my money or look at my activity or something, right? So you need something like what MetaMask does for regular secret keys, but for a Firn secret key, something like that.
Yeah, great. Any other questions before we move on?
I think we got one here. Grav, you want to take this?
So, Optimism community and those on this call could probably most immediately help us by, sending suggestions, like Hugo has done, introing to Banana. If anybody in the Optimism team wants to, get us in contact with what they think some good projects or integrations would be, that would be awesome. And then they can reach us. They can just email fernprotocol@proton.me or Discord, Twitter. We're pretty active on everything, so just let us know and we'll see it.
There's an even simpler way you can help, which is to use Firn, right? Yes, that email is correct. But I really encourage everybody here to try Firn. I promise this is very secure, very, very carefully engineered, and it works. It's useful not just for the feedback, but because of the way these privacy projects work. The more activity, the more ETH in the pool, the sort of better, the better it achieves its intended goal of privacy, right? So really encourage everyone to use Firn and tell us what your thoughts are. And again, I also want to thank the organizers for having us.
Yeah, and sorry, one very final remark. Sorry if we're going long. We wanted just to tease that we will very likely be doing a airdrop in the future for users of the app. So there's that. Then we'll pass it on. And thanks again, everybody.
Yeah, and the airdrop will be based on deposits, right? So just to make that clear. But yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse, I think that's over to you. I'm amused by the line, unsuppressed.
The struggles of being suppressed,
Sometimes being resuppressed can be pretty fun.
Right.
Ooh, we cannot hear you.
Hugo, you got to leave and rejoin, I think. I had to, at least.
Maybe soon I'll invest in one of those soundboards.
Have the local radio announcer horns blaring. That'd be pretty awesome.
Who is next? Gabriel Gruber, are you next? I actually am not. Oh, it's Hugo's turn. We're trying to get Hugo in here.
Is he still having difficulties? Or?
This is where I will learn the process so that we have some redundancy when something's needed.
So assuming everybody can hear me now?
Yes, we can. Hooray.
Awesome. Yes, I want to kick it over to Exactly Protocol. I haven't heard yet from Peanut Protocol. Hey, Conrad, if you're on, you can DM me or you can visit.
We've got Hugo trying to.
Hugo wants to replace. Okay.
Some kind of problem. I think he.
Go ahead. Yep, go ahead then. Exactly, you can kick it off, and then Hugo, I'll get you set up.
He wants to go now. The chat. Is he suppressed still, or were you able to get rid of that?
Yeah, let me add the role for him. You have to have a demo presenter role, and there you go. And you should, Hugo, you should be able to.
You can rejoin again, and then you're going to be good, all right?
Yep, perfect.
All right, I think I can talk. Can you guys hear me?
We got it. You're unsuppressed. Congrats,
awesome.
Hey.
I have been empowered. That's really cool. Okay, cool. I'll try to keep this relatively brief. So I'm presenting Peanut Protocol, and I'll go through a little deck. We actually had demo day with our accelerator 2 days ago, so I'm just reusing those slides. So we're Peanut Protocol. We make transfers simple. So the state of things right now is everything sucks. Transfers are a pain in the butt. If you've ever try to onboard your friend to crypto. Takes a long time and a very long phone call to explain to them, how to make a wallet, how to store the seed phrase on MetaMask, how to all of this. It's very painful. Same thing with if you use Aztec or the protocol that shall not be named or other stuff, or you go through Binance sometimes for privacy. Some people do that, even though that's very centralized. You should use Firn, but if you go through Binance, it's a pain in the butt. And if you do a transfer to a friend that's on a different chain, that's also a pain in the butt. It takes a lot of time. So we try to abstract it away. We do what we are calling transfer abstraction or smart checks, and it bundles complexity up. How does it look like? Well, let's walk through a little demo. So this is Peanut and Optimism. So let's say I want to send you $1 on Optimism. What it can do is once MetaMask decides to load here, I can just enter the amount here. This is not the Optimus chain, and I will get, essentially, once this processes, I will get a link, a smart check in the form of a link, and then I can just give it to people. So I'll claim this one myself. So imagine this link is here. You could, I could post it on Discord, and people could claim it, and I'll post them at the end of my presentation. But right now,
really fast can just claim it.
Yeah. If you can type that password out really fast, you can front run me. But I'll just claim it myself. So this is the experience. You just go here. I could send this to you on Twitter or Discord, whatever, and then you click claim, and then that's it. I just send someone some money. And so this obviously works even if your friend doesn't have a wallet yet. You just can send them the link, and then they can claim it. You can send it to a Twitter account. They can log in with Twitter too if they don't have a wallet yet. So onboarding is made really simple. If you want to airdrop some NFTs, that works too, because you can also send tokens like NFTs and whatever. So this is like an actual, I guess, strictly superior version of POP, because it's actually decentralized. Yeah, that's one of the things we're doing. We're also working on, actually, funny enough, with Firn. We had a few conversations about how to integrate them. So the idea would be you make a Peanut smart check, and instead of having to onboard on Firn, that's all works on the back end. And then you get privacy and you get a private transfer in a really simple way. We can also integrate here some auth, like having some person. Only the person that has access to this Gmail account can access this link. Also, cross-chain transfers, a link that, I send you a link on Cardano, and since no one uses Cardano and you want to use Polygon or you want to use Optimism, you can just claim it on Optimism without ever having to touch Cardano. So working on that too. So lots of things we're trying to make easier. And yeah, we kind of think of this as similar to account abstraction, but for transfers. That's, essentially, it bundles complexity. It's instead of sending money, like a transfer directly, you send it through a smart check, and then, it's much easier from the end user. So we have a bunch of people working with, a bunch of partnerships, and mostly, so we have the dApp that I showed right now. This is the dApp that we have. Right now, focus a little bit more on the actual SDK and the protocol, and then trying to onboard people there, working with wallets and other protocols specifically. And yeah, that's me and Conrad. We actually are raising a round right now. We kicked that off 2 days ago. So happy to chat. And for you guys specifically, I'll send you, here I have a bunch of links. I'll send you a bunch of links that you can claim. Whoever's fastest gets them. If I can open the chat. There you go. So whoever's fastest gets them, and floor open for questions.
Heck yeah,
Ooh,
I have
that
a
was
couple,
fast.
and so that was super tight, and yeah, it was a little fast. You can probably slow down in a couple spots to really drive the point home, but also I appreciate a short presentation, so that's always helpful too. So you mentioned you had the slide with partners and clients. What's the difference between a partner and a client?
Good question, and sorry for the briefness. It's I guess I need to leave in like 5 minutes, so I tried to keep it brief.
Totally
I do like the question
I'm
section.
partly saying that for benefits for other people too, where lots of people can learn a ton of really useful things from how you laid out your slide deck, how you did it. Lots of really good stuff there.
Happy to send it out to people if people want that. To your question, partners would be, for example, working with Aleph Zero and some other layer one chains to essentially deploy on them, and then they want to use us internally for the hackathon payouts and just airdropping people stuff. So that would be a partner, I suppose, because they're also giving us a grant for this. So I suppose it's more of a partner. They work with us to help us with marketing stuff. And a client is more someone that just sees our SDK as helpful and sees that as something, they integrate it into their website or their protocol or whatever. And then they essentially use us for their everyday stuff. For example, wallets. Like if you're a wallet and you want your users to be able to send crypto really easily to their friends, even if they don't know the wallet address, well, then you integrate us, and then your users can send crypto with just a link or tokens with just a link.
Yeah. I'd love to hear more too about the referral program. Like, I haven't seen a lot of good referral programs yet out there, and this is something that's really common in other marketing.
Good question, and we see the same thing. So for referrals specifically, the way this would work is you can essentially just write so the way we imagine this is that there's a smart check, and then you can plug in modules there. And if you plug in the referral module, then if you give this link to someone else and they sign up, they go through the onboarding process. Maybe this is like a game, or this is like a Uniswap. If they do a specific set of things, like they do enough swaps, or if this is Firn protocol and they onboard like 1 ETH, then the funds in the smart check get unlocked and you can claim them yourself. So you get a guaranteed amount of money if the person you're referring to does whatever they need to do.
Wow, this is awesome. I think that we at Optimism, or at least I, of course, have been waiting for protocols like Peanut, CryptoRefills, and of course Firn for a while now. These are like fulfilling unique use cases on Optimism where apps don't exist yet to kind of fulfill those use cases. So very happy that you guys launched on Optimism. This is a great protocol. All right, I want to thank you for presenting, by the way. I want to kick it over to Peanut Protocol, or I'm sorry, I want to kick it over to Exactly Protocol.
Awesome. Okay, just to close, you guys can find us on Twitter at Peanut Protocol, and how you can help us, just send crypto to your friends and do it with Peanut. It's very easy. Anyways, thanks.
Okay, guys, I'm Gabriel from Exactly Protocol. Can you hear me well?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. So we launched on Optimism 1 month ago during September. Since then, we grew very well. We are very happy with more than 1,000 transactions. And 2 days ago, we launched some OP rewards. The numbers are going quite well. The idea of this demo is to show you very quickly how the protocol works. And of course, I'm here to answer all questions you may have. So this is basically we are a protocol where we have fixed rates and variable rates on the same place. The idea of our protocol is to bring the end user to DeFi. That's why we have fixed rates, because the end user will like to borrow money on a certain time frame, not every 14 seconds. And we launched an Optimism because we need to allow the users to pay a fee that is super small and doesn't affect the APR. So basically, we have $25 million in deposits at the moment. This number has been growing a lot since we launched the OP rewards. Almost $18 million in borrows. I think we are number 3 in this category in Optimism at the moment. So it's super simple to use. You have 3 assets per market, so USDC, ETH, and OP, and you can borrow or deposit fixed or variable. So for example, if you want to deposit or borrow USDC, you click on the asset page, you have all the information you need. So for example, on the variable rate side, you see the deposit, the amount of deposit, the amount of borrow, the interest rates that you can get if you deposit, or you have to pay if you want to borrow money, and of course the OP rewards that are changing frequently because it's a dynamic program where, depending on the utilization rate, the reward rate on OP tokens is going to change. So in this case, you can see the rates, you can deposit, borrow, you see the utilization rate that we have today give you this rate. So it's 65%, give you 4% of APR. And then on the fixed rate part, you see the same information, and you can choose 3 different maturity dates at the moment, April, May, and June. So let's say if you want to deposit, you click here, you put the amount of money you want to deposit. This amount of money will change utilization, so you will get a different APR depending on the amount of money that you deposit, and the same thing for the variable rate, so you can test how it works. Then you have your dashboard, and that's all. And something that we launched recently as well, it's a simple view. So the idea of the simple view is that you get to the app, it's a default screen, and works super well on mobile as well. So you can deposit and borrow, in this case USDC. So you see that the best rate for you if you want to deposit now, it's on the variable rate. Depending on how much money you want to deposit, rate could change because you change the utilization. So in this case, for example, if you want to deposit $1 million, the best rates are going to be on the variable rate, plus you get the OP rewards. If you want to borrow money, you just click on borrow, and will give you the rates. Let's say I want to borrow $10,000 on USDC, give you the best rate. In this case, is the lower rate for borrowing money, plus the higher reward in OP token. So this is it. It's super easy to use. You can deposit, borrow, variable, fix, different duration, and you get OP tokens as well, depending on the transaction that you are doing.
Wow, that is very cool. Did I see that the OP reward on some of those was higher than the actual APR that you would be paying through borrowing?
Yeah, that's correct. And of course, yeah, well, we have a grant from the OP Foundation, so we're gonna receive 100K OP tokens in the next per month for the next 6 months if we accomplish certain milestones. So now we are offering 100,000 OP tokens, and it's a lot. So we can offer to the community very good rewards if you are using the protocol. Of course, if a lot of people start using the protocol at the same time and depositing and borrowing, those OP token rewards will go down. But it's going to be super interesting to test it and to get OP rewards using the protocol.
That is very, very cool. And by the way, I forgot to do a disclaimer. You know, my thoughts are my thoughts, not the Optimism Foundation's thoughts. With that being said, I think you just dropped some really good alpha there for the audience, because basically, as long as these OP rewards last, you can get paid to borrow money.
Yeah, this is the expected APR, so it's changing every block depending on the utilization. So this is a number that it's an annual basis. So depending on every block, the rates will change. So in this case, we are looking at the variable rates. So what we can offer, it's variable plus fixed. And if you deposit or borrow on fixed, we give you the rate that you're going to pay until maturity. All the rest, it's variable. So depending on the utilization and how many people are using the protocol at the same time, you will have a different rate. But today, if you look at the rates, are the ones that you can see on app.exact.ly.
Is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Maddie.
I have a quick one. Should probably broaden the disclaimer for the important. Nothing we're saying is financial or legal advice, and I also do not speak for OP Labs or the foundation or for the collective. We are all part of the collective, and so you are talking to members of the community. Now, also, I had a question for congrats on getting the grant. That's the process. That's hard to go through the grant process, no matter where it is. Do you have any advice for community members who are actively applying or considering applying for an Optimism grant, like how they can be successful?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think there are two ways. One is to go to a forum and do a proposal. There are many protocols that have been done that. The other way is to go try to approach the OP Labs team, and it's going to take more time probably because they are a lot. They have a lot of things at the moment, but explain what you are doing, why this project is important, how you can add value to the OP community as well. So in those two ways, you get to the point where the OP Foundation will, approve or not your proposal. In our case, we were super clear on how we can add value to the OP Foundation or to the OP users and community, because our protocol wants to get to the end user, and we have a very clear path in order to do that. And the second thing is that we have these milestones. So I think that's also important to mention, that we're gonna get more rewards as soon as we get accomplish the milestones that we suggested. So also it's a way of aligning incentives. I think there in the past are a couple of projects that receive a lot of tokens, but then things didn't work well. So I think the milestones are super important, and it's the best way to align incentives.
Yeah, that is great. I'm just gonna ask my question. I just dropped it in the chat as well. So how was your experience with the Grants Council process? Anything that you really liked, or anything that you thought could be better?
No, I think it works super well. Yeah, we read the other proposals to understand, how to structure correctly. But yes, I think the most important piece of advice, or what we learned, is that you have to have a clear proposition on how your protocol will be adding value to the OP Foundation or the OP community in the long run, not just in the short run, but how this new protocol will add value and will make more people start using Optimism. And in our case, we have a clear goal to get to the end consumer through borrow and lending with variable rates and fixed rates. We developed a new UI for that. So the thing that was missing in our case was L2 solution for scalability. And I think there was a great match with Optimism in that sense. And we are very happy with that.
That is awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I do know that the two grants councils really are aligned, and they really care about governance and the proposals, and kind of adding value through those proposals to the Optimism ecosystem to create a long-term sustainable ecosystem. Because again, we're all in this together, and we're building for the next 100 years, not the next year or couple of months. So I appreciate you guys being very clear on the proposals. I do think it's a good process. With that being said,
we launched on November, the 11th of November. I remember very clearly because that day FTX went bankrupt. We launched on Ethereum, and since then we learned, we got feedback from the community, and then the next step was to launch on an L2 solution. And we thought that Optimism was the right place, the right time, and I think it was a great timing for us as well. So we are very happy with the grant, but yeah, we are committed to make something for the end consumer. It's going to take a few years. I don't know how many, but it's not a question of months. It's a question of years. So let's get to 1 billion users, and in order to do that, we need to have like an L2 solution, and I think Optimism it's great.
That's crazy. You guys launched the day that FTX went down. I guess that one's a double-edged sword. I'm very interested in. Did you mention that exactly had a story behind it? How exactly protocol came to be named?
Yeah. Now this is my third startup. This is but in the DeFi category, it's the first one. So it's all new. I've been working on this idea in the last 2 years, but the name is coming from a tweet that I made, let's say 2 years ago. I think it was in May of 2021, where I was putting some quotes from Elon Musk regarding how to increase the productivity. And at the end, I add at Elon Musk just to make sure that it's something, make sure that this is something that he was the one explaining and not something I created from scratch. And I don't know, 1 hour after that, he replied to me exactly. So that's why the protocol is called exactly, and had a lot of success with that tweet. Was super lucky, of course, but was funny, and that's how the meme of the name was created.
I would get that tweet framed if I was you. I know that's what I would do. That is an awesome story.
I have a big frame here with me with that tweet. So yeah, we have that as well.
Excellent. Great minds think alike. Audience. So for the audience, is there any final questions about exactly protocol or any other protocol that was mentioned today or that presented today in demo day? You can drop them in the chat. I'll give it a couple of seconds to see if there's anybody typing, anybody that may have kind of a final question. If not, we could wrap it up. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, it's the infamous Elon Musk reply. Beautiful.
That's a funny name.
Well,
and we
that
have,
was-
of course, cup of coffees with the name. So we have a lot of merchandise with this.
That is awesome. Before we close out, Maddie, anything to add?
That's it for me. Thank you so much, y'all, for being here. It looks like we peaked at 34 people, which is super good for getting this going again. Let's hit 40 next time. So if you have something to present, or if you know somebody who should present, I believe Jesse has the place where you do that. So Jesse, if you could share that in a spot for folks here so they know where to apply. Our next one is 2 weeks from today. This is now our standard time. So let's see, that will be Wednesday, the 19th at 11 a.m. Pacific. And remember, our goal is to help everybody that's presenting be successful and do what we can do. So whether that's feedback, following them on Twitter, retweeting it, using it and giving them your thoughts, the more people that are using this stuff, the faster we'll get there.
Very, very well said. I just dropped the link to apply for the demo day that is in 2 weeks. Also, later, or probably at the end of the week or early next week, I'll create a special demo day, April, whatever it is, 2 weeks from today, so we can chat in there. So just apply, and I will respond to you guys, and then we'll get the next demo day set up. And like Maddie said, this will be the new time from here on out. And thank you for everybody who joined and remembered that it was at a new time as well. All right, until next time, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thank you all.